Before we dive in, please remember that this presentation is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The decision to pursue an MBA is a significant financial and personal one, involving hundreds of thousands of dollars and 2 years of your life. This video is not financial or career advice. You should always conduct your own thorough research and consult with qualified professionals before making any decisions. Picture this. You're holding 2 letters. One is from a top 15 business school, and they're offering you a full-ride scholarship, 100% free. The other letter is from Harvard, Stanford, or Wharton, and it's going to cost you $250,000 when it's all said and done. What is the right move? Your entire life's trajectory, your network, your future net worth. It all hangs on this single choice. Most people get this wrong, and they get it wrong because they're looking at the wrong data. They're looking at the US News and World Report rankings. They're looking at Forbes or Bloomberg, and I'm here to tell you those rankings are fundamentally, and in some cases deliberately, flawed. They are a lagging indicator of prestige, not a forward-looking predictor of your personal success. They use metrics like average GMAT scores and acceptance rates, which schools have learned to game perfectly. They tout high starting salaries, but they don't properly adjust for the fact that a salary in New York City or San Francisco is vastly different than a salary in Austin, Texas. They create a list, but a list doesn't help you make a decision. This is not a list. This is a breakdown. This is a complete multi-part series where we are going to build, from the ground up, the most practical, actionable, and honest ranking of MBA programs in the United States. We're not just going to tell you who is number 1. We are going to give you a framework to decide which school is number 1 for you. We're going to dissect the DNA of each elite program, its culture, its hidden strengths, and its career-killing weaknesses. By the end of this series, you won't just know the rankings. You'll understand the why behind them, and you'll be able to navigate that $250,000 decision with absolute confidence. So let's start at the top of the food chain, the very peak of the mountain. In the world of elite business schools, you'll hear a term thrown around, the M7, the Magnificent Seven. This is the undisputed top tier of global business education. It consists of Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, and then a powerhouse group including Northwestern's Kellogg, Chicago's Booth, Columbia, and MIT Sloan. Getting an acceptance letter from any of these schools is like getting a golden ticket. Changes your life, period. But even within the M7, there is an upper echelon, a holy trinity. For decades, the conversation has always started with 3 schools: Harvard Business School, the Stanford Graduate School of Business, and the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. These 3 are in a class of their own. They aren't just schools. They are global brands that signify a certain kind of power. And for our first breakdown, we're going to put the 2 biggest rivals head-to-head. The East Coast monolith versus the West Coast disruptor. The institution that defines corporate America versus the one that defines Silicon Valley. This is HBS versus GSB. Let's start with the 800-pound gorilla, Harvard Business School. HBS is, for many, the default definition of a business school. It is the oldest, the most famous, and arguably the most powerful. If you want to understand HBS, you need to understand 2 things: the case method and the network. First, the case method. Unlike other schools where you listen to lectures, at HBS, your entire education is built around real-world business cases. You are put in the shoes of a protagonist, a CEO, a manager, a founder, who has to make a critical decision with incomplete information. You read the case, you meet with your small discussion group, and then you go into a class of 90 brilliant, hyper-ambitious people and defend your position. The professor is not a lecturer. They are a conductor of a symphony of intellectual combat. This method is designed to do one thing: forge leaders who can make decisions under pressure, communicate them clearly, and persuade others. It's relentless, it's intimidating, and it is incredibly effective. It creates a graduate who is a general management machine, capable of being dropped into almost any industry and immediately adding value. Second, the network. The HBS network is not a network. It is an empire. With a class size of over 900 students per year, it is massive. And it is everywhere. There are more HBS alumni running Fortune 500 companies than from any other school on the planet. This isn't just about having connections. It's about having a shared language and a shared experience forged in the fires of the case method. An HBS alum knows what another HBS alum went through. This creates an instant bond of trust. When you need to raise capital, when you need to find a new job, when you need to get a critical meeting, the Harvard network is a global access card with no limit. So, who is HBS for? HBS is the West Point of capitalism. It is for the person who wants to sit in the C-suite of a global corporation. It is for the aspiring partner at McKinsey, Bain, or BCG. It is for the future titan of private equity or hedge funds on Wall Street. If your goal is to climb the established ladder of power, HBS is the most powerful rocket ship ever built. But then there's Stanford. If HBS is the institution that perfects the existing world, the Stanford Graduate School of Business is the one that builds the next one. Located in the heart of Silicon Valley, GSB is geographically and culturally a world away from Harvard's Bostonian brick campus. Its brand is not built on tradition. It's built on innovation, disruption, and a very different idea of changing the world. To understand GSB, you also have to understand two things: its ecosystem and its ethos. First, the ecosystem. Stanford University is not just a school. It is the engine room of modern technology and venture capital. The GSB is physically steps away from the #1 computer science program in the world and the #1 engineering school in the world. The conversations that happen over coffee at GSB aren't just about case studies. They're about co-founding the next Google or NVIDIA. The world's most powerful venture capitalists on Sand Hill Road are a 5-minute drive from campus. They are guest lecturers, mentors, and the first check into a student's startup. GSB doesn't just teach you about entrepreneurship. It immerses you in the single greatest entrepreneurial ecosystem ever created. Second, its ethos. GSB's motto is change lives, change organizations, change the world. This might sound soft, but it is the key to understanding its culture. With a class size of just over 400, it's less than half the size of Harvard's. The admissions process is famously focused on introspection, self-awareness, and a deep personal mission. The most famous class at GSB is colloquially known as Touchy-Feely, a course on interpersonal dynamics. While HBS is forging generals for an army, GSB is cultivating individual visionaries. They are looking for the person who doesn't want to just run the world, but wants to fundamentally change how it works. This creates an incredibly tight-knit, collaborative, and mission-driven community. So, who is GSB for? GSB is for the founder. It's for the venture capitalist who wants to fund the next generation of founders. It's for the product manager who wants to build something from 0 to 1 at a FANG company. It's for the social entrepreneur who wants to create a nonprofit that operates at a global scale. If your path is less defined, if you want to invent the ladder rather than just climb it, there is no better place on earth than Stanford. So we have the undisputed king of general management and established power in Harvard, and the undisputed king of entrepreneurship and disruptive innovation in Stanford. One is an army, the other is a special forces unit. One gives you the keys to the existing kingdom, the other helps you build your own. For a huge number of people, the choice between these two defines the pinnacle of business education. But there is a third school, a school that sits at a unique intersection of these two worlds. A program that arguably produces the most powerful financial minds on the planet, combining the Wall Street dominance of a Harvard with a quantitative, data-driven edge that rivals the tech focus of Stanford. It is the oldest collegiate business school in the world, and many would argue it has created more billionaires than any other. It is the third member of the Holy Trinity, and it presents a very different, and for some, a much more potent path to power. This path is paved in Philadelphia, at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. If Harvard is the finishing school for the ruling class and Stanford is the launchpad for disruptors, Wharton is the forge where the machinery of capitalism is built, maintained, and mastered. It is, without a doubt, the undisputed king of finance. Forget the nuance for a second. If your singular goal is to climb the gilded ladder of Wall Street, to work in private equity at Blackstone or KKR, or to run a hedge fund, Wharton isn't just on the list. For many, it is the list. The school's reputation is built on a foundation of brutal quantitative rigor. The curriculum is legendary for its difficulty, and the students are known for an analytical horsepower that can feel intimidating. There's a stereotype of the Wharton student: sharp-elbowed, hyper-competitive, and already has their summer internship at Goldman Sachs lined up before they even step foot on campus. And while that is a caricature, like all good caricatures, it contains a kernel of truth. The culture at Wharton is pre-professional to its core. It's a place of intense focus. People don't come here to find themselves. They come here with a mission, and the entire ecosystem, from the faculty to the career services to the student clubs, is optimized to help them execute that mission with ruthless efficiency. But to label Wharton as just a finance school is a gross oversimplification, and it misses the secret to its enduring power. Yes, it dominates investment banking and private equity, But it also has one of the world's best marketing departments. It has an unparalleled real estate program, and it has a surprisingly potent entrepreneurial streak. Think about Warby Parker, 4 Wharton students who revolutionized the eyewear industry. Think about the founder of JT.com, which was acquired by Walmart for over $3 billion. And then there's the big one, Elon Musk. While he often downplays his MBA, the fact remains that the mind behind Tesla and SpaceX is a product of Wharton's ecosystem. This isn't a coincidence. Wharton teaches a specific way of thinking, a data-driven analytical framework for deconstructing complex systems, whether that system is a bond market, a supply chain, or a plan to colonize Mars. The network is staggering. With over 100,000 alumni, it's one of the largest and most powerful in the world. But it's the concentration of that power that's truly awe-inspiring. You cannot operate at the highest levels of global finance without constantly encountering Wharton alumni. They are the heads of banks, the founders of funds, the regulators, and the policymakers. A Wharton MBA isn't just a degree. It's a passport into this global financial nervous system. It grants you a level of access and credibility that is almost impossible to replicate. So, where does it sit in the rankings? For our purposes, it is locked in a permanent battle for the top spot. It is a true member of the Holy Trinity. If you value brand prestige, raw analytical training, and the most direct path to financial power, Wharton has a very strong case for being number 1. It is less concerned with producing well-rounded general managers than Harvard, and less focused on world-changing innovation than Stanford. Instead, it promises something different, something more tangible, mastery over the language of money. And in a world governed by capital, that is an incredibly powerful promise. But while Wharton may be the king of finance, another school, nestled in the heart of the Midwest, makes a compelling claim to be its intellectual superior. This school doesn't just teach you the how of business, it forces you to understand the fundamental why. It's a place built not by practitioners, but by Nobel Prize-winning academics who fundamentally shape the way we think about modern economics. This is the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business. If Wharton is the practitioner's school, Booth is the thinker's school. It represents a different kind of power, the power of first principles. The entire philosophy of the school is rooted in the Chicago School of Economics, a framework that champions free markets and is built upon a bedrock of empirical, data-driven analysis. This isn't just an abstract theory. It permeates every single class. At Booth, you aren't just taught a formula. You're taught the economic theory behind the formula, the assumptions it rests on, and the conditions under which it will fail. This makes its graduates intellectually formidable. A Booth MBA is trained to question everything, to deconstruct problems to their absolute core, and to rebuild solutions from the ground up based on evidence, not just on convention. This academic rigor is Booth's greatest strength and its defining feature. The faculty is a murderer's row of intellectual giants. The school is associated with more Nobel laureates in economic sciences than any other institution on Earth. You could be learning finance from Eugene Fama, the father of the efficient market hypothesis, or from other professors who literally wrote the textbooks used by every other business school. This creates a culture of intense intellectual curiosity and debate. It's less about networking in the traditional sense and more about challenging each other's ideas in a relentless pursuit of the truth. The curriculum is famously flexible, allowing students to design their own path almost from day one. There are very few required courses. This choose-your-own-adventure approach trusts students to be the architects of their own education, attracting independent, self-motivated individuals who thrive on intellectual freedom. It's the antithesis of a one-size-fits-all program. Now, the reputation that follows Booth is that it's nerdy or overly academic, and there's some truth to that. The social scene might be less polished than at its East Coast rivals. The culture is more about deep diving into a data set on a Friday night than it is about exclusive social clubs. But to dismiss this as a weakness is to misunderstand the value proposition. Companies hire Booth graduates for their brains. They are sought after by the most elite consulting firms like McKinsey and BCG, by quantitative hedge funds, and by corporate strategy groups precisely because they can outthink the competition. They are the ones you bring in when you have a problem that no one else can solve. In the world of finance, Booth competes directly with Wharton, but it plays a slightly different game. While Wharton dominates traditional investment banking and private equity, Booth is a powerhouse in investment management, quantitative trading, and financial research. It produces graduates who don't just execute trades, but who design the algorithms that run the market. The Booth network is perhaps less flashy than Wharton's, but it's incredibly deep and fiercely loyal. It's a network built on mutual intellectual respect. So, where does Chicago Booth land? It is undeniably in the top tier, constantly challenging the top 3. For a certain type of student, the intellectually curious, the rigorously analytical, the person who wants to understand the why behind the what, Booth might be the single best business school in the world. It offers a different flavor of elite. It's less about inherited prestige and more about earned intellectual authority. It's the quiet powerhouse, the school that doesn't need to shout about its influence because the Nobel Prize is on the wall, and the success of its alumni speak for themselves. We've now seen the quant-heavy, finance-focused titans. The schools where data is king and the language of numbers reigns supreme. But what if that's not your world? What if your vision of leadership is built not on spreadsheets but on people? On building teams, inspiring movements, and mastering the art of collaboration? For that, we have to travel back to the shores of Lake Michigan, to a school with a completely different DNA. A place known as the West Point of Marketing, where teamwork isn't just encouraged, it's the entire foundation of the program. This school argues that the greatest business challenges are, at their core, human challenges. That school is the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University, and its entire philosophy can be summed up in 2 words: high impact, low ego. This isn't just a marketing slogan. It's a code etched into the DNA of every student in every class. While other schools might breed lone wolves, Kellogg builds wolf packs. From day one, you're immersed in a culture where your success is inextricably linked to the success of your team. The admissions committee actively screens for this. They don't just want to know if you're smart, they want to know if you can make a team of smart people even smarter. This collaborative spirit is most famously embodied in the Quest Trip, Kellogg Worldwide Experiences and Service Trips. Before you even step into a classroom, you, along with about 20 of your new classmates and a few second-year leaders, are sent to a random corner of the globe. You might be hiking in Patagonia, exploring markets in Morocco, or sailing in Croatia. The destination is a secret until just before you go. The point isn't the vacation, it's the forced bonding. It's about building trust and camaraderie with a diverse group of people you've just met, people who will become your core network for the next 2 years and beyond. It's a brilliant, if expensive, way to break down barriers and fast-track the community-building process. Academically, Kellogg's reputation as the West Point of Marketing is well-earned. Its marketing department is legendary, producing generations of brand managers and chief marketing officers for giants like Procter & Gamble, PepsiCo, and Kraft Heinz. But pigeonholing Kellogg as just a marketing school is a massive mistake. Over the last 2 decades, it has become an absolute juggernaut in management consulting. The big 3 consulting firms, McKinsey, Bain, and BCG, recruit armies of students from Kellogg every year. Why? Because Kellogg teaches people how to work in and lead teams, which is the fundamental unit of a consulting engagement. They know a Kellogg grad can be dropped into a client project on day 1 and immediately add value, not just with their analysis but with their ability to collaborate and communicate. The curriculum is flexible, offering pathways that guide students through specific career interests, from data analytics to social impact. And unlike some programs where group work can feel forced, at Kellogg, it's the air you breathe. Nearly every class is built around a team project. This creates an environment where students actively help each other. It's common to see second-year students, who have already secured their dream jobs, spending hours coaching first-years on case interviews and networking strategies. It's a virtuous cycle of paying it forward. But this intense focus on collaboration isn't for everyone. If you're an individualist who prefers to grind out problems alone, you might find the culture stifling. The constant need for consensus building and group meetings can feel inefficient to some. And while its campus in Evanston, just north of Chicago, is stunningly beautiful, right on the shores of Lake Michigan, it's not in the heart of a global business capital. You have access to Chicago, but it's a train ride away. A subtle but important difference from schools located in the urban core. Kellogg is for the ultimate team player, the leader who understands that influence is built on relationships, not just authority. It's for the person who believes that the best ideas emerge from a collision of diverse perspectives, debated with respect and a shared sense of purpose. Now let's travel just a few miles south, into the heart of Chicago's Hyde Park. Here we find a school that shares a city with Kellogg but might as well be on a different planet. If Kellogg is about the who and the how of business, the people and the teamwork, this next institution is obsessed with the why. It's a place built on a foundation of unshakable economic principles and a relentless pursuit of analytical truth. A school where intellectual rigor isn't just a feature, it's the entire product. Welcome to the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Booth is an intellectual gladiator pit. It is the academic heavyweight of the MBA world. A place where Nobel laureates aren't just in the history books, they're teaching your corporate finance class. The entire culture is built upon something called the Chicago approach, a framework for thinking that emphasizes challenging assumptions, questioning conventional wisdom, and grounding every single argument in data and empirical evidence. At Booth, an opinion without data is just noise. This philosophy manifests most clearly in its curriculum, which is the most flexible of any top MBA program on earth. At Booth, there is only one required course: lead a leadership development program. That's it. Everything else is up to you. You are the architect of your own education. Want to triple major in analytical finance, econometrics, and strategic management? Go for it. Want to load up on quantitative marketing and tech strategy courses? You can. This choose-your-own-adventure model is incredibly empowering, but it also comes with a serious responsibility. There's no hand-holding. You are expected to know what you want and to have the discipline to build a curriculum that gets you there. This academic freedom attracts a certain type of student: fiercely independent, deeply analytical, and unapologetically nerdy. The stereotype of a Booth student is someone who loves to deconstruct complex problems, build sophisticated financial models for fun, and engage in passionate debates about economic theory. While Kellogg students are on quest trips building team spirit, Booth students are in the classroom arguing about the efficient market hypothesis. It's a culture of inquiry where the best idea wins regardless of who it came from. Unsurprisingly, Booth is an absolute titan in the world of finance. It is arguably the #1 school for a career in investment banking, private equity, and asset management. Wall Street firms recruit at Booth with an intensity that is breathtaking. They know that a Booth graduate possesses a level of quantitative and analytical firepower that is second to none. They can step into the most complex financial environments and not only survive but thrive. The school's finance faculty is legendary, and its research has fundamentally shaped modern financial theory. But like Kellogg, it's a mistake to see Booth as a one-trick pony. Its data-driven approach has made it a growing powerhouse in the tech industry, especially for product management and data science roles where rigorous analytical skills are paramount. And its Polsky Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation is one of the most respected academic incubators in the country, leveraging the university's deep scientific and economic expertise to launch cutting-edge ventures. The potential downside of Booth is the flip side of its greatest strength. The intense intellectual culture can sometimes feel cold or transactional, compared to the warm, community-focused vibe of a school like Kellogg. The extreme flexibility of the curriculum can be daunting for students who aren't crystal clear on their career goals from day one. And the expectation to constantly defend your ideas with rigorous analysis can be exhausting. It's a demanding environment that forges incredibly sharp, resilient, and data-driven leaders. But it requires a thick skin and a genuine love for intellectual combat. Choosing between Kellogg and Booth is a choice between two fundamentally different views of the business world. Do you believe success is driven by building consensus and leading collaborative teams? Or do you believe it's driven by finding the objective truth through rigorous, data-backed analysis? It's the ultimate battle of EQ versus IQ, collaboration versus analytics. Both are world-class institutions that will open almost any door you want to walk through, but they will shape you into very different kinds of leaders. From the intellectual battleground of Chicago, our journey now takes us east. We leave behind the Midwest's blend of collaborative spirit and academic rigor and head towards a city that never sleeps. A place where finance isn't just a subject you study, but the very rhythm of the streets. We're going to a school that doesn't just have access to the world of business. It sits at the very center of the universe. We're talking about Columbia Business School. Located in the Morningside Heights neighborhood of Manhattan, CBS isn't just in New York City. It is New York City. This isn't a school with a traditional ivy-covered, self-contained campus where students live, study, and socialize in a bubble. Here, the bubble is the 5 boroughs. The campus is the subway system, the boardrooms of Midtown, the startup lofts in the Flatiron District, and the trading floors of Wall Street. Their tagline is "at the very center of business," and unlike a lot of marketing slogans, this one is a literal, tangible reality. For a Columbia MBA student, the line between classroom theory and real-world practice is almost non-existent. Imagine this. You're in a morning class discussing a complex derivative strategy. The professor, A former managing director at Morgan Stanley mentions a specific nuance. During your lunch break, you hop on the one train, and in 20 minutes, you're having coffee with an alum who executes those very strategies every single day. That afternoon, you attend an on-campus recruiting event with a private equity firm that's headquartered 10 blocks away. This isn't a hypothetical, once-a-semester opportunity. This is Tuesday. This unparalleled access is Columbia's superpower. While students at other elite schools are planning networking treks to New York, flying in and packing a week with frantic meetings, Columbia students are living it. They can build deep, meaningful relationships over months, not just exchange business cards during a rushed coffee chat. This constant ambient immersion in the world of high finance, consulting, and media creates a different kind of MBA graduate. They are not just academically prepared. They are market fluent. They speak the language, they understand the pace, and they have a network that is both broad and incredibly deep right on their doorstep. Let's talk about the crown jewel of Columbia's academic offering, the very program that put it on the map for generations of investors, the Heilbronn Center for Graham and Dodd Investing. This is the mecca of value investing. Benjamin Graham, the father of the entire philosophy, taught here. His most famous student, Warren Buffett, studied here. The principles of finding undervalued assets and investing for the long term are not just a class at Columbia. They are embedded in the school's DNA. Getting into the value investing program is notoriously difficult, more selective than the MBA program itself. The students who make it are put through a rigorous curriculum that is part academic, part apprenticeship. They manage a real money student fund. They're mentored by a who's who of legendary investors like Joel Greenblatt and Ken Schubinstein, and they graduate with a pedigree that opens doors to the most exclusive hedge funds and investment firms in the world. For anyone serious about a career in asset management, Columbia isn't just an option, it's the destination. But here's a common misconception: that Columbia is only a finance school. While its dominance in finance is undeniable, it's a core feeder to every single bulge bracket bank and elite buy-side firm. That reputation sometimes overshadows its incredible strength in other areas. The school has made massive strategic investments to build out world-class programs in technology, media, and entrepreneurship, leveraging its New York City advantage in each. Think about it. New York is now the second largest tech hub in the country. Google has a massive campus in Chelsea. Amazon is expanding. The startup scene is exploding. Columbia students are right in the middle of it, with access to internships, venture capitalists, and founders that are just a subway ride away. The Tamer Center for Social Enterprise is a leader in the growing field of impact investing and mission-driven business. And for media, being in the media capital of the world means your classes are taught by executives from Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, and NBC Universal, and your projects are focused on real-world problems facing the industry today. This evolution is physically embodied in their new Manhattanville campus. The two new buildings, Henry R. Kravis Hall and David Geffen Hall, are architectural marvels. They are designed not with traditional, closed-off lecture halls, but with open, light-filled spaces meant to foster collaboration. It was a statement to the world. Columbia is not resting on its legacy. It is building the future of business education, creating a space that mirrors the interconnected, dynamic, and transparent world its graduates are expected to lead. So, who thrives at Columbia? The Columbia student is a certain type of person. They are independent, proactive, and a little bit gritty. They have to be. The school doesn't hold your hand. The city itself is a major part of the curriculum, and it's up to you to take advantage of it. If you're someone who needs the structure of a small, tight-knit campus community where your social life is organized for you, Columbia might feel overwhelming. The student body is incredibly diverse, with a huge international contingent, but the social scene can be fragmented. People live all over the city, from the Upper West Side to Brooklyn. You have to be intentional about building your community. But for those who are self-starters, for those who see a city of 8 million people not as intimidating but as a network of 8 million opportunities, there is no better place. They are people who want to be in the room where it happens, and they understand that at Columbia, the room is the entire city of New York. They are comfortable with ambiguity and thrive in a fast-paced environment. They're hustlers in the best sense of the word. Now let's address the elephant in the room: the cost. Attending Columbia is not just about the staggering tuition. It's about the cost of living in one of the most expensive cities on the planet. Your rent, your food, your transportation, your social life. It all comes with a significant New York City premium. The return on investment is undeniably massive, with graduates commanding some of the highest salaries in the world, but the initial financial mountain you have to climb is steep. It's a critical factor that every prospective student needs to seriously consider. In the end, Columbia Business School offers an MBA that is fundamentally different from its peers. It's not an escape from the real world for 2 years. It's a deep dive into the very heart of it. It's a trade-off. You might sacrifice the quintessential college town campus experience, the football games, and the quiet green quads. But what you get in return is access. Unfiltered 24/7 access to the people, the companies, and the ideas that are shaping the global economy. It's a program for those who don't just want to study business, but want to live and breathe it every single minute of every single day. But the world of business isn't just run from the concrete canyons of the East Coast. Power has a different geography now. What happens when you trade skyscrapers for sprawling tech campuses? When the pinstripe suit is replaced by a hoodie and sneakers? What if the most valuable currency isn't capital but code? To understand that, we have to leave the city that never sleeps and head west, to a place where the sun shines a little brighter, and the future feels like it's being invented in real time. We're going to a valley where the biggest names in the world aren't on Wall Street, but on a street called Sand Hill Road. And on that road, nestled in the heart of Palo Alto, California, sits an institution that isn't just a business school. It's the very epicenter of modern capitalism's creative destruction. This is the Stanford Graduate School of Business, or the GSB. And if Harvard is the kingmaker of the establishment, Stanford is the forge of the challenger. It's where you go not to run the world, but to build a new one. To understand Stanford, you have to understand its geography. It's not just in Silicon Valley. In many ways, it is Silicon Valley. The air here is different. It's thick with optimism, with the hum of servers and the quiet confidence of people who genuinely believe their next idea could reshape an entire industry. The school's motto isn't about leadership or excellence in a generic sense. It's a direct command: change lives, change organizations, change the world. And they're not kidding. This isn't a place you go for a simple career pivot. It's a place you go for a fundamental identity shift. The entire curriculum, the culture, the very questions they ask you on the application are designed to strip you down to your core and rebuild you as a founder, a visionary, a leader who operates from a place of deep self-awareness. Let's start with the most famous and perhaps most misunderstood part of the Stanford GSB experience. A course officially called Interpersonal Dynamics, but known universally as touchy-feely. Now, on the surface, this might sound like some soft West Coast nonsense, but in reality, it is the GSB's secret weapon. Imagine being in a small group of 12 of the most ambitious, intelligent people you've ever met, for hours on end, with no agenda other than to give and receive brutally honest, unvarnished feedback. You're forced to confront how you're perceived, how your words land, how your body language communicates things you aren't even aware of. It's terrifying, it's raw, and it's utterly transformational. Graduates don't talk about it like a class, they talk about it like a crucible. A GSB alum once told me, "Wharton teaches you how to value a company. Stanford teaches you how to look the CEO in the eye during a moment of crisis and connect with them as a human being. So they trust you to help save it." That's the difference. In a world being automated by AI, the currency of the future isn't just analytical horsepower, it's emotional intelligence. And Stanford has been minting that currency for decades. This philosophy of introspection is baked into the application process itself. The most notorious essay question in the MBA world is Stanford's, "What matters most to you and why?" It's a simple question that is almost impossible to answer well. It's not a trick. They genuinely want to know what drives you, what your foundational values are. They're not screening for the most accomplished resume. They're screening for character, for purpose. This is why Stanford has the lowest acceptance rate of any MBA program on the planet, often dipping below 6%. They can afford to be that selective because they're not just building a class, they're curating a small, intimate community. With only about 420 students per class, the GSB is significantly smaller than its East Coast rivals. This isn't an accident. The size fosters a level of collaboration and intimacy that's simply not possible in a program of 1,000 students. The vibe isn't competitive, it's supportive. The person sitting next to you isn't your rival for a job at Goldman Sachs. They're your future co-founder, your first investor, the person you'll call at 2 a.m. when your startup is on the brink of failure. This network isn't just a collection of contacts. It's a lifelong support system of people who have been through the same fire. And that fire leads to some extraordinary outcomes. Let's talk about careers. While a healthy number of grads do go into traditional fields like consulting and finance, the real story of Stanford is entrepreneurship and technology. This is the #1 MBA for launching a venture. The proximity to Sand Hill Road means you're literally a stone's throw away from the largest concentration of venture capital in human history. Professors are often legendary VCs themselves. Guest speakers aren't just CEOs. They're the founders of Google, Netflix, and NVIDIA. The numbers are staggering. If Stanford GSB alumni formed their own country, its economy would be one of the largest in the world. Companies founded by GSB grads are everywhere. Nike, Trader Joe's, Charles Schwab, Zillow, StubHub, DoorDash, the list is endless. The goal for many isn't a six-figure signing bonus. It's a multi-billion-dollar exit. The salary statistics, which are the highest in the world, don't even tell the full story because they can't quantify the equity stakes that so many graduates hold. The financial upside of a Stanford MBA is, in theory, limitless. But who is it really for? Stanford is for the builder, the creator, the nonconformist. It's for the person who feels constrained by the traditional corporate ladder and wants to design their own. It's for the engineer who has a world-changing idea but needs the leadership skills to build a team around it. It's for the social impact leader who wants to apply the principles of Silicon Valley innovation to solve global poverty. It is not for the faint of heart. And it's not for someone who wants a clear, predictable path. The GSB experience is intentionally ambiguous. It forces you to find your own way, to define your own success. They give you the tools, the network, and the mindset, but you have to build the machine yourself. It's a profound investment in personal transformation, disguised as a business degree. So, when we place Stanford in our ranking, it occupies a unique space. It's not just #1 or #2 on a list. It represents a different philosophy of what an MBA can be. It's less about mastering the existing game and more about inventing a new one. It's the pinnacle for a certain kind of ambition, the ambition to create, to disrupt, and to build the future. It's the undisputed champion of entrepreneurship, a leader in technology, and a masterclass in the human side of leadership. But the West Coast is a big place, and the spirit of innovation isn't confined to Palo Alto. What if you crave that same California dynamism, that same forward-looking culture, but in a different environment? What if you want to be plugged into the heart of a massive, world-class public university system, with its own unique legacy of challenging the status quo and championing new ideas? For that, we just have to take a short drive across the bay to a city of rebels and thinkers where a different kind of business leader is being forged. Welcome to Berkeley, and welcome to the Haas School of Business. If Stanford is the polished venture-backed prodigy of Silicon Valley, Haas is its older, wiser, more rebellious sibling, the one who went to protests in the 60s, started a food co-op, and then quietly built a revolutionary piece of software in a garage that changed the world. This isn't just another business school. It's an institution forged in the crucible of counterculture, public service, and relentless innovation. To understand Haas, you have to understand Berkeley. And to understand Berkeley, you have to understand that challenging authority isn't just encouraged here. It's in the DNA of the place. The entire culture of the school is built on a foundation of 4 defining leadership principles. And if you're even thinking about applying, you need to live and breathe these. They aren't just marketing slogans on a website. They are the filter through which every applicant is screened, every class is taught, and every student is expected to operate. First, and most famously, question the status quo. This is the soul of Berkeley. This is the legacy of the free speech movement, born right on campus. At Haas, this translates into a deep-seated skepticism of the way things have always been done. It's the force that drives a student to not just launch a startup, but to launch a startup that completely upends a traditional industry. It's why Haas excels in entrepreneurship and technology. The curriculum doesn't just teach you how to manage a Fortune 500 company. It teaches you how to build the company that will make a Fortune 500 company obsolete. It fosters a mindset that sees a legacy system not as something to be respected, but as a problem waiting for a better solution. Second is confidence without attitude. This principle is the secret sauce. It's what makes the Haas culture so unique and so powerful. In a world of elite business schools that can sometimes breed arrogance and sharp elbows, Haas cultivates a different kind of leader. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows they're brilliant, but doesn't need to announce it to the room. It's the product manager who can lead a team of engineers twice their age not through authority, but through influence, respect, and a damn good argument backed by data. This creates an intensely collaborative environment. Your classmates aren't your competitors. They are your co-founders, your problem-solving partners, your support system. People actively help each other prepare for interviews, even if they're interviewing for the same job. It's a culture that self-selects for people you'd actually want to work with for 80 hours a week, and it's a stark contrast to the cutthroat environments you might find elsewhere. The third principle is students always. This goes beyond just being a student in a classroom. It's about possessing a ravenous, insatiable intellectual curiosity. Haas is situated within one of the most formidable research universities on the planet. You are a stone's throw away from Nobel laureates in physics, pioneers in artificial intelligence, and titans of public policy. The students always principle means leveraging that. It means taking a class at the School of Information on Data Ethics, or collaborating with engineering students to build a prototype for your startup, or attending a lecture from a visiting diplomat at the Goldman School of Public Policy. A Haas MBA isn't an isolated 2-year transaction. It's an immersion into a universe of knowledge. The school looks for people who see the world as a classroom, who are constantly learning, adapting, and absorbing new ideas not because they have to, but because they are fundamentally driven by curiosity. And finally, the fourth principle, beyond yourself. This is the heart of Haas. It's the recognition that business is not an end in itself, but a tool to create a better, more equitable world. As a public institution, Haas has a mandate to serve the public good that is fundamentally different from its private peers. This manifests in a huge focus on social impact, sustainability, and responsible leadership. You see it in the Center for Responsible Business and the Sustainable Investment and Finance Initiative. You see it in the sheer number of students who go into B Corp, nonprofits, and mission-driven companies. This principle asks a simple but profound question. What will be your legacy? Will you just maximize shareholder value? Or will you create value for all stakeholders, your employees, your community, and the planet? Haas is looking for leaders who are wrestling with that question, who believe that profit and purpose are not mutually exclusive, but are in fact deeply intertwined. So what does this all mean in practice? It means you get a much smaller, more intimate program than many of its peers. With a class size of around 330 students, you know everyone. The community is tight-knit, not by accident but by design. In the classroom, this translates to an emphasis on experiential learning. Programs like Clean Tech to Market have students working directly with scientists from the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab to bring cutting-edge green technologies to commercial viability. The required applied innovation course isn't a theoretical exercise. It's a hands-on sprint where you learn to identify human needs and build real solutions. When it comes to careers, the pipeline into big tech is, unsurprisingly, a fire hose. Haas is a powerhouse for product management, product marketing, and strategy roles at companies from Google and Apple to the next generation of disruptive startups. The confidence without attitude and question the status quo principles create graduates who are perfectly suited to thrive in the ambiguous, fast-paced, and collaborative world of tech. But it's not just tech. Consulting firms recruit heavily at Haas, seeking out that Berkeley-bred innovative thinking. And while it might not be known as a finance factory like some East Coast schools, it places incredibly well in investment banking and venture capital, particularly for firms focused on technology and impact investing on the West Coast. The ideal Haas student, then, is not the person trying to check a box on the traditional corporate ladder. It's the engineer who wants to learn the language of business to launch her own hardware company. It's the nonprofit manager who wants to scale their impact by harnessing market forces. It's the consultant who is tired of writing slide decks and wants to actually build something. It's for the person who is intrinsically motivated, deeply curious, and believes that their work should leave the world a little better than they found it. Haas offers a potent, almost alchemical combination. The intellectual rigor and prestige of a top-tier business school, infused with the progressive, innovative, and public-spirited soul of Berkeley. It's a place that proves you can be both ambitious and humble, successful and socially conscious, a leader and a lifelong student. It's where you learn not just how to play the game, but how to change it entirely. But this West Coast model of innovation, with its focus on disruption and building the future, is just one paradigm of power and influence. What about the institutions that don't just build the future, but that own the present? The schools that are inextricably linked with the very foundations of global finance and corporate power? To find that, we have to leave the sunny optimism of California behind and travel 3,000 miles east, to the heart of the financial universe, where a different kind of titan is forged in the crucible of Wall Street itself. And here, in the concrete canyons of Manhattan, you find Columbia Business School. If Stanford is a campus that happens to be near Silicon Valley, Columbia is a business school that has dissolved into the very fabric of New York City. Its campus isn't just Morningside Heights, it's the entire island of Manhattan. The subway is its circulatory system, and the city's relentless pulse is its heartbeat. This isn't a place you go to escape the world and study business in a bubble. This is a place you go to be plunged directly into the neural network of global capital. The school's tagline is, "At the very center of business." And unlike most marketing slogans, this one is a literal, geographical, and philosophical truth. The advantage this provides is almost unfair. At other top schools, a managing director from Goldman Sachs might fly in once a semester to give a talk. At Columbia, that same MD might be teaching your class on Wednesday nights. Or you might meet them for a coffee chat by just hopping on the one train downtown. The barrier between classroom theory and real-world practice is non-existent. The city's top executives, traders, and entrepreneurs aren't just guest speakers. They are adjunct professors, mentors, and future employers who are a 10-minute cab ride away. This immediate, unfiltered access shapes the entire Columbia experience. It's pragmatic. It's intense. It's real-time. While students elsewhere are analyzing case studies from 5 years ago, Columbia students are often analyzing deals that are happening that very same week, sometimes taught by the very people executing them. Need to do an in-semester internship? You don't have to negotiate a remote arrangement. You just commute to your office in Midtown, or the financial district 2 days a week. This constant immersion creates a feedback loop of ambition and opportunity that is intoxicating. You are breathing the air of high finance, high fashion, and high media every single day. But Columbia's identity is more than just its location. It's rooted in a powerful intellectual tradition. This is the birthplace of one of the most influential investment philosophies ever conceived: value investing. It was here in the 1930s that Professors Benjamin Graham and David Dodd wrote the Bible for investors, Security Analysis. They taught that the secret to wealth wasn't chasing trends or speculating on hot stocks, but painstakingly researching companies to find their intrinsic value and buying them for less than they were worth. It was a disciplined, almost academic approach to the chaos of the market. And their most famous student, a young man from Omaha named Warren Buffett, took that philosophy and used it to become the most successful investor in human history. That DNA is still deeply embedded in the school. While other programs might be chasing the latest fads in venture capital or crypto, Columbia remains the global epicenter for value investing. It's a rigorous, analytical, and almost contrarian mindset that permeates the culture. It teaches students to look past the noise, to ignore the herd, and to trust their own deep fundamental analysis. This makes Columbia graduates a different breed of financial professional. They aren't just masters of spreadsheets. They are trained to be true investors, to think like owners, and to have the intellectual fortitude to stand against the tide. This attracts a specific type of person. The Columbia student is often someone with a clear, almost surgical focus. They know what they want, and they know Columbia is the most direct path to get it. There's less of the "I'm here to find myself" vibe you might find elsewhere. It's more, "I'm here to get the skills, the network, and the credentials to lead a multi-billion-dollar private equity fund. And I'd like to start on Monday." The pace is relentless, the competition is fierce, and the expectations are sky-high. It's a culture that mirrors the city it calls home. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And the school itself is making it clear it has no intention of slowing down. For decades, Columbia was housed in Uris Hall, a building that was, to put it politely, functional rather than inspiring. But in 2022, the school opened its new multi-billion-dollar Manhattanville campus. The two new buildings, Henry R. Kravis Hall and David Geffen Hall, are architectural marvels. They are gleaming structures of glass and steel, designed not as traditional classrooms, but as interconnected hubs for collaboration. The spaces are open, light-filled, and filled with tiered lounges and networked conference rooms, all designed to foster what the architects call programmatic collisions, chance encounters between students, faculty, and industry leaders that spark new ideas. This new campus is a statement. It's Columbia declaring that while its intellectual roots are deep, its vision is fixed firmly on the future of business. And while finance is its undisputed heavyweight title, the "at the center of business" mantra extends to every industry that calls New York City home. It's a powerhouse in real estate, leveraging the most complex and valuable property market on the planet as a living lab. Its media and technology program is deeply integrated with the city's publishing houses, news organizations, and burgeoning tech scene. It's a leader in luxury retail and marketing, with unparalleled access to the global brands that line Madison Avenue. The principle is the same across the board. Why study an industry from afar when you can embed yourself directly within its global capital? Columbia, then, is the ultimate accelerator for a certain kind of ambition. It's for the person who thrives on energy, who wants to be at the nexus of power, and who understands that in the modern economy, proximity is everything. It's less about building the next disruptive startup from the ground up, and more about learning how to command the massive, complex systems that already run the world. It forges leaders who are fluent in the language of capital, comfortable in the corridors of power, and prepared to make decisions that will echo from Wall Street to Shanghai. But what if your goal isn't just to master the existing systems of power, but to fundamentally redefine what leadership even means? What if you don't just want to be a player in the game, but to create entirely new games? For that, we must travel north to a place that is not at the center of a city, but that has, for over a century, positioned itself as the very center of the business universe itself. A place so iconic, its name has become synonymous with the MBA degree itself. We are, of course, talking about Harvard Business School. Nestled across the Charles River from the hallowed Gothic halls of Harvard University, HBS is a world unto itself. Its sprawling red brick campus isn't just a school. It's a self-contained ecosystem of ambition. It's a place built on a foundation of prestige so deep and so old that it feels less like an institution and more like a law of nature. For over a century, HBS has been the global standard bearer, the one all others are measured against. And its dominance is built on one singular revolutionary idea, the case method. Forget everything you think you know about a classroom. At HBS, there are no lectures. There are no professors droning on from a podium, feeding you theories from a textbook. Instead, there is the pit, a U-shaped amphitheater, a coliseum of capitalism, where 90 students face each other every single day. In the center is the professor, but they are not a lecturer. They are a conductor, a prosecutor, and a catalyst all in one. Here's how it works. The night before, you are assigned a case, a detailed multi-page document about a real-world business problem, a CEO facing a hostile takeover, a marketing manager launching a product in a new country, a startup founder running out of cash. There are no answers in the back of the book. Your job is to read it, analyze it, live it, breathe it, and come to class the next day ready to defend your solution. And then the cold call happens. The professor scans the room, and without warning, their eyes land on you. Your name is called. The spotlight is on. For the next 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, you are the protagonist. You are the CEO. You must lay out your analysis, your plan of action, and defend it against the intellectual firepower of 90 of the smartest, most driven people you will ever meet. Your classmates will challenge your assumptions. They will poke holes in your logic. The professor will push you to the absolute limit of your thinking. It is 80 minutes of high-stakes, high-pressure intellectual combat, and you do this 3 times a day, 5 days a week for 2 years. The case method isn't just a way of learning. It's a complete rewiring of your brain. It teaches you to think on your feet, to make decisions with incomplete information, to articulate a complex argument with clarity and conviction, and to persuade others to your point of view. It's a trial by fire that forges leaders, not just managers. It's why HBS graduates are famously decisive and confident, sometimes to a fault. They have spent 2 years in the crucible, making thousands of decisions under pressure. But the true power of Harvard isn't just what happens inside the classroom. It's who is sitting next to you. HBS doesn't just accept applicants with high test scores and impressive resumes. They curate a class. They assemble a human mosaic of extraordinary individuals. The person to your left might be a Navy SEAL who led missions in Afghanistan. The person to your right might have founded a multi-million-dollar nonprofit in Africa. Behind you is a former concert pianist. In front of you, an Olympic athlete. This creates a learning environment unlike any other. When you're discussing a marketing case, the former Procter & Gamble brand manager provides an industry perspective you could never get from a book. When you're analyzing a private equity deal, the former Goldman Sachs analyst breaks down the financial model with surgical precision. You learn as much from your peers as you do from the cases themselves. And this carefully selected group of people becomes your section, your 90-person family for the first year. You struggle together. You celebrate together. You form bonds that are forged in the intense heat of the HBS experience. These aren't just classmates. They become your co-founders, your investors, your advisors, and your friends for life. This, of course, bleeds into the legendary HBS alumni network. Calling it a network feels like an understatement. It's a global tribe. It is a quiet, powerful force that operates in every major city, in every industry on every continent. It's the ability to land in Tokyo, look up the local HBS alumni chapter, and have dinner with the CEO of a major corporation the next day. It's needing an expert opinion on a niche manufacturing process in Germany, and getting a call back from the world's leading authority within hours. The HBS brand is a key that unlocks doors you didn't even know existed. It grants you a level of access and credibility that is quite simply unparalleled. Naturally, this translates into career outcomes that are the envy of the business world. HBS is a primary recruiting ground for the holy trinity of MBA careers: consulting, finance, and technology. The McKinseys, the Goldmans, the Googles of the world don't just show up on campus. They fight tooth and nail to hire HBS grads, offering staggering salaries and signing bonuses. But HBS is no longer just a factory for Wall Street and consulting. It has become a powerhouse of entrepreneurship. The school's Rock Center for Entrepreneurship provides a massive ecosystem of funding, mentorship, and resources. The annual new venture competition is like Shark Tank on steroids, with millions of dollars in prize money and the attention of the world's top venture capitalists. This is the soil from which companies like Stitch Fix, Rent the Runway, and Grab were born. HBS gives aspiring founders the toolkit, the network, and the credibility to turn an idea on a napkin into a billion-dollar enterprise. So, is it perfect? Is HBS the undisputed, unassailable king? Not for everyone. First, let's talk about the cost. It is astronomical. The tuition alone is enough to buy a small house in many parts of the country, and when you factor in the cost of living in Boston and the opportunity cost of 2 years without a salary, you are looking at an investment that can approach $500,000. It's a staggering sum that creates immense pressure to pursue those high-paying, traditional jobs to pay down the debt. Second, the CASE method, for all its strengths, isn't a silver bullet. If your goal is to gain deep, technical expertise in a specific area like quantitative finance or data analytics, the pure CASE method might feel frustratingly broad. It produces world-class general managers and leaders, but it is not a specialist program. If you are someone who learns best through structured lectures and deep-dive technical instruction, the HBS style can feel like being thrown into the deep end of the pool without a swimming lesson. Finally, there's the sheer size and the brand itself. With over 900 students per class, it is a massive program. While the section model creates intimacy, it's easy to feel like a small fish in a very, very large and competitive pond. And let's be honest, the Harvard brand can be a double-edged sword. It opens doors, yes, but it can also come with a perception of arrogance. The HBS swagger is a real stereotype, and graduates often have to work hard to prove they are more than just their pedigree. So where does this leave us? Harvard Business School is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful and transformative educational experiences on the planet. It is an institution that doesn't just teach business. It shapes the people who will run it. The combination of the CASE method, the curated student body, and the God-tier network creates a self-reinforcing cycle of excellence and influence that is almost impossible to replicate. It is a program for those who thrive under pressure, who want to lead from the front, and who are comfortable with ambiguity. It is for people who believe that leadership is not a science to be learned, but an art to be practiced. The question is it the best? Is this 2-year immersion in decision-making, this entry ticket into the global elite, the absolute pinnacle of the MBA experience? Or is there another school, a rival just a few hours' drive down the coast, that has perfected a different model, one built not just on case studies, but on a deep analytical rigor and a mission to serve all of society? That rival is the Stanford Graduate School of Business. And it's not just a rival, it's a revolution. If Harvard Business School is the grand old institution that teaches you how to command the global economy as it exists today, Stanford GSB is the sun-drenched, forward-looking incubator that teaches you how to build the economy of tomorrow. This isn't just a different school. It's a different philosophy. It's a place built not on tradition, but on disruption. Its motto isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a direct command. Change lives, change organizations, change the world. And it's this audacious world-building ambition that places it at the absolute pinnacle of our ranking. To understand Stanford, you have to understand its location. It is not simply near Silicon Valley. It is Silicon Valley. The campus is the nucleus of the most dynamic economic engine the world has ever seen. Your classroom isn't confined to 4 walls in Palo Alto. It's the entire ecosystem of innovation that surrounds you. The guest lecturer in your venture capital class isn't some retired executive. It's a founding partner from Andreessen Horowitz or Sequoia Capital, who just drove over from their office on Sand Hill Road. The case study you're analyzing isn't about a company from a decade ago. It's about the startup your classmate is launching this semester. The air itself feels different. It's charged with a palpable sense of possibility, a belief that the next world-changing idea is just one conversation, one coffee meeting, one dorm room brainstorming session away. This proximity isn't a perk. It's the core curriculum. It seeps into every class, every project, and every interaction, creating an environment of relentless forward momentum. But the GSB's true genius lies in how it combines this external environment of hyper-innovation with an internal curriculum focused on profound self-discovery. This brings us to what is arguably the most famous, most transformative, and most misunderstood course in all of business education, interpersonal dynamics. Known to students simply as touchy-feely, this class is the heart of the GSB experience. While other schools are drilling you on discounted cash flow models and supply chain logistics, Stanford is forcing you to sit in a small group of your peers and learn how to give and receive brutally honest feedback. It's about understanding your own emotional triggers, your communication style, your impact on others, and how you show up as a leader when the pressure is on. It's uncomfortable. It's intense. It's deeply personal. And for many alumni, it is the single most valuable thing they learned in their 2 years. Because Stanford understands a fundamental truth that other schools often miss. You can have the most brilliant strategy in the world, but if you can't inspire, motivate, and connect with the people you lead, you will fail. GSB is forging leaders not just with high IQ, but with dangerously effective EQ. This combination of external opportunity and internal development creates the perfect breeding ground for entrepreneurship. Stanford isn't just a place you go to learn about starting a company, it's where you go to do it. The school is a veritable founder factory. The list of companies founded by GSB alumni reads like a Hall of Fame of American business. Nike, Charles Schwab, Gap, Trader Joe's, Sun Microsystems. And in the modern era, it's DoorDash, Robinhood, Stitch Fix, SoFi, and countless others. The school's ecosystem is designed to make this happen. The Center for Entrepreneurial Studies, the Venture Studio, the access to a network of alumni who are the most powerful venture capitalists on the planet, it's all there. There's a pervasive culture of what are you building? That is both exhilarating and incredibly demanding. A huge part of what makes this possible is the school's size. With a class of just over 400 students, it's less than half the size of Harvard Business School. This isn't a minor detail. It's a defining feature. The intimacy is intentional. You don't just know the people in your section. You know everyone in your year. The community is famously tight-knit, collaborative, and supportive. It feels less like a massive institution and more like a highly curated elite team. Stanford isn't trying to fill a stadium. It's trying to assemble a strike force. Every single person admitted has survived what is consistently the lowest acceptance rate of any MBA program on Earth, often hovering around 6%. This means every classmate is an extraordinary individual, a potential co-founder, a vital node in a network of unbelievable quality. The small class size ensures that this powerful network becomes a genuine community. Now, don't let the touchy-feely reputation fool you into thinking the program lacks analytical rigor. This is Stanford University, after all, a global epicenter of engineering, data science, and quantitative analysis. The curriculum is incredibly flexible, allowing students to design their own path and take classes across the entire university. You can combine your MBA with courses at the legendary Hasso-Plattner Institute of Design, better known as the D.Dot School, to master human-centered design. You can take classes at the School of Engineering to understand the technical underpinnings of the products you want to build. This cross-disciplinary approach creates a new kind of leader, one who can speak the language of finance, but also the language of code, one who understands both the balance sheet and the user experience. Of course, paradise has its price. The cost of living in Palo Alto is astronomical, adding a significant financial burden on top of already eye-watering tuition. The pressure cooker environment, while stimulating for some, can be overwhelming for others. And the sheer exclusivity of the program means it's an impossible dream for the vast majority of applicants. It's a place that demands you not only have a track record of incredible achievement, but also a clear and audacious vision for how you will change the world. It's not enough to want to be a manager. Stanford wants you to be a visionary. So, when we place Stanford GSB at the very top of our list, it's a statement. It's a recognition that the nature of leadership is changing. In a world defined by rapid technological disruption and constant uncertainty, the most valuable skill is not optimizing the present, but inventing the future. Harvard Business School produces the world's best generals, brilliant strategists capable of commanding vast, complex organizations. They are masters of the existing world. Stanford Graduate School of Business, on the other hand, produces the world's best pioneers, visionaries, and builders who see the world not as it is, but as it could be, and then have the courage, the network, and the skills to make that vision a reality. We are left with two different models of excellence, two competing philosophies of leadership, perched on opposite coasts of the country. One, the steward of tradition and power, the master of the case method, forging leaders to command the institutions that shape our world. The other, the agent of disruption and innovation, the master of the startup, empowering founders to create the institutions that will shape our future. The East Coast establishment versus the West Coast frontier, the manager versus the maker. Both are undeniably elite, both are gateways to incredible influence and success. But they represent a fundamental choice about the kind of leader you want to become and the kind of impact you want to have. So, let's break down that choice, because at the absolute pinnacle of business education, these two philosophies collide. On one side, you have the East Coast institution, the bedrock of modern management, Harvard Business School. And on the other, the heart of Silicon Valley, the engine of disruption, the Stanford Graduate School of Business. Harvard is the forge for the Fortune 500 CEO. It's where leaders are trained to command, to allocate capital, to manage vast, complex organizations. The case method, which HBS pioneered and perfected, is the ultimate training ground for this. Every day, you are put in the shoes of a protagonist facing a critical business decision with incomplete information. There is no hiding. You have to take a stance, defend it against 89 other brilliant, hyper-competitive minds, and be ready for a world-class professor to dismantle your argument piece by piece. It is an intellectual crucible. It builds pattern recognition, decisiveness under pressure, and the ability to articulate a clear vision. An HBS graduate is expected to walk into any boardroom, any organization, and know how to lead from day one. It is the school of established power, of refining the existing world order. Stanford, on the other hand, is the incubator for the founder. It's where leaders are taught to create, to build something from nothing, to challenge the status quo. The GSB's motto, change lives, change organizations, change the world, isn't just a marketing slogan. It is the school's DNA. The atmosphere is smaller, more collaborative, more introspective. It's less about cold calling and more about small group discussions and experiential learning. You're not just analyzing a case about a startup. You're in the D.School building a prototype. You're taking a class like touchy-feely to understand interpersonal dynamics on a profound level. Stanford doesn't just ask what you would do. It asks who you are and who you want to become. It is the school of emergent power, of creating the next world order. Choosing between them is less about choosing a better school and more about choosing a different path. Do you want to take the helm of the battleship, or do you want to design the speedboat that will run circles around it? Do you want to optimize the global supply chain or invent the technology that makes it obsolete? For years, the debate has raged. But in today's world, a world defined by rapid technological change, by disruption, by the primacy of innovation, the center of gravity has shifted. The skills of creation are becoming more valuable than the skills of management alone. The ability to build, to pivot, to create a new category is the defining skill of the 21st century. And for that reason, for its unparalleled connection to the venture capital and tech ecosystem that is actively shaping our future, for its focus on building the whole person, not just the manager, our #1 MBA program in the United States is the Stanford Graduate School of Business. But hold on. Before the Harvard grads light up the comments section, let's be crystal clear. This is not a declaration that Stanford is universally better. The truth is, the #1 school on this list, or any list, is a fiction. The real #1 school is the one that is #1 for you. That's the ultimate secret of this entire process. This ranking isn't a prescription. It's a diagnostic tool. It's a way to understand the landscape so you can find your perfect place within it. Think back through our journey. We started with the quant-heavy, intellectually rigorous powerhouse, the University of Chicago booth, the school for those who believe the best answer wins. We moved to the team-oriented, marketing-focused, high-EQ culture of Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management, the place for collaborative leaders. We analyzed the undisputed king of finance, the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, the launchpad for Wall Street and private equity titans. And we just contrasted the global general management factory of Harvard with the entrepreneurial launchpad of Stanford. Each of these schools represents a distinct flavor of excellence. The best fit for a future hedge fund manager is almost certainly Wharton. The best fit for a future chief marketing officer is probably Kellogg. The best fit for a data-driven strategy consultant might be Booth. And for that future Fortune 500 CEO, there is still no better training ground on earth than Harvard Business School. Declaring one the victor over all the others ignores the fundamental truth. Your goals, your personality, and your background are the most important variables in this equation. And this doesn't even begin to cover the incredible schools just outside that M7 halo. If you want to be at the intersection of business and technology, MIT Sloan should be at the top of your list. If you want to understand how business impacts society and lead with a broader mission, the Yale School of Management is an unparalleled choice. If you want to be at the absolute center of global commerce and finance in New York City, Columbia Business School provides an advantage no other school can. If you want that West Coast tech and innovation vibe with a public school mission, Berkeley Haas is a powerhouse. We could go on and on. Tuck at Dartmouth with its legendary alumni network, Darden at UVA with its rigorous academic experience, Ross at Michigan, Stern at NYU, Duke's Fuqua. Each of these programs produces world-class leaders and for the right person could be a far better choice than a school ranked higher on our list. So after all this analysis, what's the final takeaway? It's this. An MBA is one of the few inflection points in your life where you have the power to completely rewrite your future. It's a 2-year reset button. It's a chance to pivot industries, to accelerate your career, to build a network that will serve you for the next 40 years, and to learn a new way of thinking about the world. The name on the diploma matters. Let's not pretend it doesn't. It opens doors that were previously welded shut. But what matters more is the transformation that happens during those 2 years. The value isn't just the post-MBA salary, which is often the only metric people focus on. The true return on investment is the confidence you gain from surviving a program like Booth's. It's the network of loyal friends you build at Kellogg. It's the global perspective you develop at HBS. It's the creative potential you unlock at Stanford. The ranking is the map, but you are the explorer. Use this breakdown not to find the best school, but to find the best school for you. Think deeply about the kind of impact you want to have. Do you want to manage or create? Do you thrive on competition or collaboration? Do you see the world in numbers or in narratives? Find the school that aligns with your answer to those questions. Find the community that will challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Because that is the program that will truly be number one. That is the investment that will pay dividends for the rest of your life. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. It's been an exhaustive journey, but these are life-changing decisions that deserve this level of detail. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Did we get the ranking right? Which school is your personal number one and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're on this journey yourself, good luck. The hard work is worth it.